Hello and welcome to Challenger League live at the WDG Esports Studio. I am Valdez, with me is Walt, and we are getting into this very nice Tuesday. We have a couple of great matches, actually. Yesterday was Monday, the relaxed day. We're hanging out. Today also is the Tuesday relaxed day. We're hanging out, but we also have DK up against DRX, which is pretty hype, and then the Telecom War later.
Yeah, Telecom War, I think, cool in name right now. It's a very exciting matchup for that reason alone. I think it is probably going to be a one-sided one. But the first series, we'll see if DRX, who is our second best team, can take a game away from D+ Kia's Challengers roster, who has not lost a single set. They are 12-0 so far here in the first round robin. So
a single map.
Yeah, single map. No maps dropped. So
they took Bind, they took Ascent.
If they take this one, they only have 2 series left. And if they take those, it's a perfect round robin. I mean, we saw T1 get perfect round robin, obviously, last season, or not last season, but last year. But we didn't see the perfect, like not even dropping a game round robin. The perfect-er round robin. Okay, we're on the edge.
The actual perfect, yeah. It's like the difference between a perfect game where you get like all the plates and the heralds, which isn't really a thing. Well, I guess all the heralds is, but versus just the classic one. And yeah, Gen.G also in the LCK on a little bit of a streak, 6-0 right now, but they have dropped a couple of games, so that's going to be interesting. So we did have a couple of chat casters yesterday.
Yeah.
They were saying his name yesterday. Okay. I forget how to say his name.
Whose name?
Zayan.
Oh, yeah.
Zane, okay. And Mistake Boy. We'll see if he's back. I think it's Mistake Boy. Not 100% sure. Maybe we get new casters today. I'm not sure. And yes, the inconsistent streamer also here. Here are the standings. DK up against DRX first match, and then KT T1 later on today.
It's a bit too early to talk about Zest tonight, We'll get into it later on in the series, maybe. You asked me again in some downtime. Let's take a look at the standings. As mentioned, that second series, we talked a lot about the first one. And actually, DRX, I said they're the second best team, but they are a game behind right now, so they would have to win this to be second place in the standings. But I think realistically, we can say, in my opinion anyways, they're slightly better than Hanwha right now, but there is some contention there. But yeah, KT versus T1, a 3-3 KT on the edge of playoffs versus a 1-5 T1 down at 9th place. I think we do have a clear favorite in both series, but I expect, knock on some sort of material that is in front of us that, consists of our desk, that it will be a closer one, I'm hoping, expecting, pleading. If it's a D+ 2-0, that's okay, but I want to see DRX keep it competitive.
Yeah, DRX is an interesting team to look at because DK, obviously, they're just beating everyone, and their strength of schedule has been relatively, I'd say, weak, right? They haven't faced Hanwha Esports or DRX yet, so this is going to be a couple of their big challenges at the end. But DRX, they dropped a couple of maps to Hanwha Esports and Live Sandbox. They did recently defeat T1 2-0, but as we know, T1 is on a huge downswing, so that's not a really large feat at this point to take out T1, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see if DRX have what it takes to defeat DK, especially with a couple of new names in the roster for summer that have been performing pretty well.
Yeah. KT, it's time to bounce back. I think if you're hoping for a good run here in summer, because spring, we're looking very good, kind of toppled in playoffs early, did not have the greatest showing there, and this time, they're still on track to make playoffs, but you want to see a stronger finish here. This is our first matchup, DRX versus D+. DRX, I believe, having side selection here since they are shown on the left side of your screen, so that might give them an additional edge as well, potentially being able to have that blue side first pick. And will we see any of that Ivern guy, that long-legged tree, making grass?
Yeah, he would be really good at hurdles, in track and field. He just steps over them. He doesn't have to, move his human legs to the side like all of us sad humans. Let's take a look at DRX here, as the two names I was talking about, Frog and Career, making their way in for summer, and they have really impressed so far. Frog's been really solid. Career has definitely made some waves with some interesting picks and some bottom lanes that they have done down here for Pleta in career, but I don't know if any of those shenanigans will fly against DK.
Yeah, that's a really good point. You know, they've shown some pretty unique strategies, but you know, against D+ here, I mean, they're pretty robust, and D+ also usually runs the show. You know, like, you have your own strategy. It doesn't, like, it's not going to crack D+, and then they just take the tempo back away from you. So they're also usually the ones who control the draft. These are some really cool.
Clear is on that list.
Well, I mean, you could tell she made it a while back. Okay.
All of the names of recent times.
What would you call those? Like, they're almost like bumper stickers, but they're not, you know? They're not.
They're like.
They're not placards, but they're almost placards. Like,
yeah.
That's actually.
Hand banners?
Hand banners. Okay, we'll go with that.
Where is Clear? Who are these players?
Who are these players? That's the meta in Kart Rider, the hand banners. So maybe it's catching on here in challengers. As yeah, 100% win rate on blue side, and because they win game 1 all the time, and they're forced to play on red side, they have a better or a larger number of games won on red side. There's 7-0 over there, so they're even better on red side. Yeah, they play more red side more often because they win those first games, so that's just how it goes. A few opponents have actually picked red side for them as well.
Yeah, interesting choice. As Lucid, definitely, I would say by and far the best player in challengers, and he's surrounded by really strong players as well. So it's like, it's not really fair, especially everybody really stepping up to the plate, even Rahel going up to LCK, showing off his stuff there when Def was sick, and then coming back down, showing off his stuff down here. As we got Thana TOS,
Thana terms of service.
Oh
Thana
no!
Terms of service. Well,
what does it mean?
I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down and accept the terms of service. I'm going to agree. Agree to all. Scroll to the bottom of that sign and press yes. Thanatos has been so strong for this roster. I personally still don't think it's time to send him up to the main roster just yet, but I would love to see D+ Kia actually try it against a weaker team like Nongshim, for example. I just don't see it happening, sadly. He's just still going to be in Challengers jail as Pleta. We're going to put this key position on bottom lane here. I mean, he has been extremely good. Did not end up beating Paddock in the scrims to make it to LCK. Like, he's still down here, but like, he was MVP. He's very good, and I think he on paper should be individually a stronger player than Rahel on the other side.
Yeah, definitely an interesting match to keep track of. I was just reading YouTube chat, which is generally a mistake, but somebody asked,
never do it.
What does positive/negative mean? The plus/minus mean? And someone replied, positive/negative. It's like, yeah, but what does it mean? I don't understand.
Oh my god.
Positive/negative. Oh, okay. Thank you for the breakdown. Yeah. Read my chats. Well, you gotta chant something interesting first. Here's Rahel on the other side, by the way.
Yeah.
He's a very strong number.
7-0 on the Aphelios, which is very relevant. Maybe a little bit less relevant on this patch, but still very relevant, obviously. And he's played 2 games of Jinx. He's got some spread out games of other picks as well. I think he's played the Xayah once. And these are just his point picks. All the other picks he's played only 1 game of, so we don't show them here. His kill participation is quite high. His DPM is first in the league, despite us saying that he's usually a low resource and not the hyper carry for this team. Like, he's often just kind of sitting back and doing damage. It's not always about him. It's usually about jungle, mid, and top half of the map. But still has some fantastic numbers here individually, which is, again, considering the meta, I think that makes sense. But I'm a little bit surprised to see it just because I still associate him as kind of the slow to start AD carry.
Pablo Nico 79 says that DRX wins first map. He is from Defuture. So we'll have to wait and see if Defuture does come true this time around.
We will certainly see. No Shiv LeBlanc, not in this first game.
Yeah, what about the trees?
Lucid losing his Lee Sin. Nico probably going to need a look here. There she goes. Bye-bye. All right. Any Ivern banners?
In the chat? No.
Not in the chat. But okay, so Lucid has lost 2 picks here, but not the Ivern. So it looks like DRX planning on first picking it. You would guess, based on the priority we've seen on Challengers. Sejuani's down. Sponge, is it time?
Is he gonna sponge all over the Rift with his Ivern?
Probably.
I mean, this is a good spot to go ahead and pick it up. Both these teams are very strong AD carries, so I think Ivern is really strong in general. Vi is very reliable, though. Like, I don't mind this first pick at all either.
And now, I mean, I think you're more likely to not pick Ivern into Vi. You're more likely to play a Maokai or a Wukong here, as the Wukong will come through. I think the Wukong is very good for protecting the AD carry. Now, picking it with the Ahri is quite puzzling, considering... I think they just picked the Ahri because they don't want Vi Ahri on the other side, but I think Ahri Viego is a stronger duo they could have locked in instead. So this is telling me they want to have that hyper carry, AD carry for Rahel regardless, but they'll only get to pick it without a support here since there's only 1 slot left, as once again we're going all on the single target damage here for DRX. Vi, Renekton, the lockdown is real. So that
the Croc.
Oh man. The Azir.
The Renekton. The Azir? Oh no.
This meme is never gonna die.
I really need to learn the next line. It's like 7 years ago. You need to like, wait, is it 7 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But nobody knows what comes next.
Yeah, but exactly.
Our
forefathers, and then that's it.
Yeah,
nobody knows what comes next.
Yeah.
So it's like, I always know the Renekton, the Azir, but then I'm like, I wish I knew the next line, but I don't know. If somebody has that copy pasta, it's definitely out there somewhere.
I mean, it's a copy pasta, but it was actually also a real thing that was said by a real person.
Happen. Yeah.
A real person who is our colleague.
Is he real, though? I thought he was an AI.
I mean,
I've seen him around, but I don't know.
AIs are real. I mean,
Are they?
They're not alive, but they're real.
I think that's something we'll have to discuss as a society in the future. You
Sure.
know, like, are AIs real people?
Sion is locked in here, so we're just going to lock this one up in terms of solo lanes. We already know what we're getting here, so we're going to see some support and AD carry bans now.
Yeah, the Ashe focus. We've seen a lot of... I've seen a lot of Ashe in solo queue, actually. Watching Showmaker, it's like every single game there's an Ashe in it. This is pretty strong now.
Draven is really good for D+. Like, they have a lot of ways to set him up to get a kill and get a cash in.
But it's Rahel.
It's true. Like, he's not really known for playing that style. He's like the opposite of Deft in his parent team, I guess you could say. But see what they ban here is I do like the Ashe ban quite a bit. A lot of ways to set up for the Ahri charm with that arrow. Oh, there it goes. The random choices. That was the next line.
Yeah, the random choices, the flips for objectives. And the worst part is Gen.G will never learn because they've gotten so good at it. Yeah, I think that's kind of like as far as you could go.
There's Varus. Varus, another pick I thought was pretty solid here considering the burst damage you have. The Ahri gets resets. Very strong here. Very squishy Azir. Vi also fairly squishy into this. Doesn't build any MR. Varus just blows her up. So
Kai'Sa for DRX.
It does feel like that's probably the way to go here. Unless they want to go for some sort of crazy aggressive kill lane. Could go like a Aphelios Blitzcrank if you really want to go down that rabbit hole. I think it's not that bad. Not a lot of setup though for the Blitz. But it does fit the theme of single target blow up that they have with the Renekton Vi. Let's see. I mean, it might just be Nautilus, might just be boring, you know. Could be also a Lulu. Make the Renekton even bigger in a team fight. Get some big knockups with the Vi too. Seems like that's probably where I'd go if it were up to me.
It's not up to me. Face. He's like, oh god, like what am I gonna pick? Coach is right in there behind him. He's like, oh man, I don't know. Like this is really stressful choice. I guess you're just gonna have to play Leona.
He's like, it's like pick a melee support to lose lane. Like that's what the tutorial says. You now lock in a melee support and lose lane.
Yeah. This is very much like, okay, well let's just try to.
Oh god, now it's the karma.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Or Renata.
Even worse.
Renata's a great choice here.
Actually, I think Renata's super sick into Renekton Vi.
Yeah.
But they want to win the lane even harder.
Yeah, Renata is pretty squishy, and like if you do get locked down without really being able to handshake or do anything, you can kind of get blown up. So Karma's, I think, safer for lane, as you were mentioning. But I really liked the Renata Glask for just game lockdown. Like, imagine if you just get through lane and you're like, okay, well, I'm ranged, you know, try not to get engaged upon, and then you have team fights where Renekton and Vi or Azir even try to, like, get in your backline. It's just not going to happen.
I think there's a small chance. I don't think it's going to happen, and I actually don't think it's bad, but there's a chance that he just goes Comet and plays Lethality here, and they really try to play around early game Prio and try to get some early Drakes on lock, play around that level 6 for Wukong, start pushing the Azir back, looking for early team fights, because, I mean, Varus is very vulnerable in this composition, but the best defense for him actually becomes the offense and the attack, and actually preventing DRX from ever really fighting on their terms, ever getting into that Vi ultimate. I think this is going to be a really exciting game, though. I don't think this one really favors either team strongly. I think if you took the nameplates off, I'd feel a little bit better about DRX's comp. I think it's more well-rounded. But D+, I mean, Varus has been so strong on this patch. Also on the previous patch, we saw it from like Teddy first in the LCK. It's a really good comp, and the early Prio you're going to have bottom side opens up a lot of possibilities. And also I think shores up some of Wukong's early game weaknesses quite a bit. But he's going to have to be there on the bottom side of the map, or they will get punished if they push up too far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very interesting to look at that bot lane and see exactly what does transpire, as the two junglers will be important as well. We'll see how active Sponge is in the early game versus Lucid, who will be looking to inevitably hit level 6. Sometimes on Challenger days, my brain is just like, you know what?
Actually happens to me sometimes on any day, whether it's LCK Challengers, or just in real life.
Yeah.
But yeah. For you, it's just Challengers, so that's like, I think you're doing better than me.
Most of the time.
But can you hit that?
Yeah, I'm much better than Mao, or Chronicler in this case, or Grass Boy, as YouTube chat was calling him
No
earlier.
Ivern in this game, no Grass Boys.
Ivern. Yeah, well, no Maokai either. Just totally ignored. Nobody cares about them. Let's do the do-do-do. Even our timing is better. We just excel at so many things.
Yeah.
Better than Chronicler, who is in the chat. Hello.
He's got a lot of potential.
Yeah, he does, but I had one bad day. Well, sometimes, Chronicler, one bad day is all it takes.
Look at that. We're scorching. Double Comet.
And
I had a feeling, and we're Scioning. Yeah, we're just going to go all in on red side Scion. And Pleta, he's like, I was told I would be playing a game of League of Legends against D+ Kia, the undefeated team. I was told I would be locking in a champion. I'd walk down the lane. I'd be killing some minions, trying to buy some items. That's what I was told. And D+ was like, oh yeah, right. We did agree to this, yes. So we will not actually try to dive at level 1. Just kidding.
Well, he's going to be spotted on this ward, but current posturing for DRX is saying that they're just going to give this jungle away, which you can't really do anything about it, right? They have Scion, you just have to give it up. So first champions picked for Thanatos, Rahel, and Bible. So D+, who have had a lot of success, they come in 13-12 with a new plan, Wolf.
Yeah, looking like a, I mean, it's a new plan, old new plan, you know? They've got their own way of doing things. I see Aphelios, and I say, well, I've got the Varus. We're just going to prevent you from playing the game. Let's see how well this dive goes. Because even if it doesn't kill Pleta, it is going to hurt his chances of getting money from these minions and hitting the last shot on them. Very challenging.
I think
TP commitment.
4v3, does it matter? As Scion Q gonna land, it's not gonna stun, they're just trying to burst down Pleta as First Blood is given over to Frog, and they kill the Leona, as Lucid will live, actually, with a just barely shield getting in there.
I actually like this for D+, even though, you know, the kill does go over there. It's onto the Renekton, which is nice, I guess you could say, for DRX, but now you have this huge advantage in terms of what you could set up. Well, they actually aren't going to stay. I was going to say you can just stay down here and make this happen with the Leona gone. As level 2 gets hit from Frog, so he actually hits 2 before he teleports down, so he does have the ability to hit that Q and also the stun. He doesn't actually stick around very long there, playing very carefully, and I think they might have actually been able to get more out of that, to be honest, if he stayed longer, but he just wants to leave, grab that call, head back to lane. And it's both players down to teleport here on the top side. I also thought potentially, like I was saying, that Rahel could have stayed here, but he decides he wants to back. We'll pick up some pots.
Yeah. So Valdez is not needed here, but Valdez with an S absolutely needed here in this in this chat. In this cast. No, we have Zane. We have enough casters. It's fine. We only need the one, and we can go on. Because this is pushing away from Pleta and Career. He's in the top lane. You see that Frog is trying to trade onto the Scion. Is pushing away from him as well.
Did Rahel actually complete his back? I was like, oh, he bought some pots, but he just did Longsword 3-pot start, right? And he actually didn't use those. I don't think he actually committed to the back.
Yeah, no.
So it's just a trick by our observers. Made it look like he was going back. But now I'm looking, I'm like, no, he didn't. This is a hard lane to play as the Leona and the Aphelios. The only way you can actually have any agency is if you all in with Xenoblade. But Rahel has cleanse still, so I don't know if that's advisable. I don't think it's a good idea. We're doing it.
Okay, well, Bible is baiting this one in. He's taking a lot of damage. Flash is the Q. No flash here on Pleta as in goes the monkey. But Pleta, he's getting low. They finally do take him out as Vi here sponges a little bit late to the party. A nice setup, a nice bait here from the bottom lane of DK.
Yeah, you know, not feeling good about doing that. They did it. They went on to the right target. Yeah, they went on to Bible. He's not very tanky. He is a Karma, and he doesn't have cleanse. But when a Karma is walking at you like this, when a Karma says, hey, Leona, I would be ashamed if you Zenithbladed me here. Yeah. Usually, you know, something's a little bit sus. Now, Sponge was coming down. But this is exactly what I was talking about, how Lucid can make an impact down here on the bottom side if he comes for these aggressive plays and tricks DRX and also shuts down Sponge, who could come down and look to punish this aggressive lane where you want to have that hard push, that extra prio, and look for plates. And Lucid shows up, makes it happen. So Flash is used here. Bible had to use his, Lucid had to use his as well, but still got the flash away from the bottom lane duo too. So feeling pretty good here as D+. This Varus already with a Dirk now. Tier picked up, stacking it. Train is rolling down the tracks.
Yeah, and this is what DK do so well, right? They just come into the early game, they make a big impact, they get a lead, and then they never let go. It is a tried and true kind of cookie cutter way to play League of Legends, but they do it so well, so why change it up? And yeah, maybe just some better decision making from the DRX bottom lane will be needed here in the future. And
Frog, I mean, he has... talking about the good news for DRX, like, he has a cull, so he's going to hit that stack of gold, you know, in a few minutes. He also has the extra prio. He has a lead up here, which is natural, of course, especially with that level 1 start. And he's got Demolish as Crouching Vi, Hidden Punch? I don't know, like...
Hidden... Assault battery?
Well, she didn't have level 6, you know, so she's just got a...
Well,
she's going to have to walk away from that one.
Now it feels like they're really over-indexing into this bottom lane. You know, like this gets... You're not going to have a lot of control, especially against the double range of the bottom side.
Yeah, I'd rather
Leona.
see commitment up here.
Yeah,
because...
Kill the Scion, get your Renekton ahead.
Exactly, especially considering if Lucid camps there, then he has no agency here, and then you can kind of just sit under turret and farm it up. But if he, you know, if he goes, just babysits bottom side, and you're expecting the Vi, and then the Vi gets your Renekton and kill, that's another plate. Speaking of, it looks like he's going to get the plate regardless here. If Thanatos completes that back, he does not. We'll try to defend it, but bottom side here, that prio is so strong. Control ward here in the Drake pit, as well as one to the north. But I mean, seeing is believing is what they say, but I'm not believing in the chances of doing anything here. It's like, thanks for some additional ward gold. It's not actually able to make a play around this at all. 20 CS up is this Varus, and with Cloud, or sorry, Ocean into Mountain, could be Hex Tech, could be Infernal, 2 Drakes you do not want to see. Nah. Could be. I don't think so, Valdez.
It could be, it might be, it will be if Ox types in the chat right now.
Nah, he's not here.
If Ox casts, presses his buttons in the chat right at this moment.
Nah.
That's not Ox, that's Fred.
Yeah, I mean, I like Fred a lot, to be honest.
No
He's
Ox?
hanging out, but he's not here.
Well, I guess we're not going to get Chemtech.
I'm telling you, it's either Infernal or Hextech. Not Cloud.
Well, we figured it out. Okay.
It's not going to be Cloud.
This is some good scientific research we're doing on what dragon it's going to be.
I mean,
What soul?
you thought that like Ox was going to save it, but I already knew.
I mean, I was just testing, you know, like I had a theory. I just wanted to make it into a hypothesis.
Thanks
You
for
remember the scientific method?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing here.
Thanks for hanging out, Fred. We love you a lot, man. You're always a great supporter of us in the chat.
Yeah, Fred's great. There was, I do have this one thing with Fred. I kind of want to point it out.
Okay.
Nothing
Now's
against
the time
Fred
to share.
specifically, but you know, we had the telecom war recently in the LCK. right?
Yeah.
And I was watching the pre-show, and Fred, unfortunately, he was like, does anyone actually think KT's going to win? And I was just like, I kind of chuckled to myself because, you know, maybe T1 could have showed up, but unfortunately they really didn't, and KT took the series 2-0 very easily. And the majority of us did vote for KT,
Yeah,
so I just wanted to
just out here
say,
taking
like,
strays right now.
the majority of us, you know, specifically everyone except Chronicler and Hooney, the two people that voted for
And
T1. And Fred. I mean, you know, T1, maybe that was going to be the game where they turned around, so I felt for your plight, Fred. Nothing against you personally, but we did have that moment. I haven't been able... Okay, that makes
now
more
Fred
sense.
gets to actually share one thing that really disappoints him about you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Fred. Hey, he said, you know, now we get some more context. He hasn't been able to watch much of late, and, you know, KT's been on a big upswing, and T1's been on a little bit of a downswing, so that's kind of the way things go sometimes. Thank you, Fred. We love you, too. Thanks for hanging out.
You know what I love? Varus is getting ahead.
Yeah.
Varus is pushing turrets with just a camping Wukong, you know. This is like just, it's the life. It's peak Varus gameplay.
This is what DK does sometimes. They remember, they're like, hey, remember this was really strong? And like, Aphelios is nerfed on this patch. Also, he doesn't have any enchanters in his lane. Let's just dunk on him and not allow him to play the game. We're good enough, right?
Yeah, and the answer is yes. They're like no brand burgering this lane. Why trap
well,
more?
Bible is, yeah. Well, this was not good.
It's okay, it's okay. Varus is still getting ahead.
That's the it's good enough part. It's like, well, he's not perfect, but it's good enough, you know?
Why draft more, Valdez?
Yeah.
No one gets this joke, but it's fine.
There's a burger brands in Korea. It's like a cheap store,
But it's
it's
no
good
brand.
enough.
It's called no brand burger, which is the irony of it.
Yeah.
It's a cheap burger, and you don't have to pay a lot for it. And you get what you get, you know. Some of our casting crew very much enjoyers of the no brand.
Mm-hmm. And that's the idea behind it, right? That's their motto. Why pay more? You don't have to pay $10 for a burger. It's good enough.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it. It's not gonna break the bank. It's not gonna be the best burger you've ever had.
And
but
let's be honest, and like, I don't talk about Korean culture on this show too much, but like, there's a new trend of just way too expensive burgers.
Yeah.
In our homes here in Korea, and I think No Brand is fighting against that. They're fighting the good fight.
All power to you, No Brand.
Too many
doing a
expensive
good
burgers
job
in Korea right now. It's just it's getting to be a bit much. Okay, how many new burger pop-up stores are we gonna hear about that are really expensive? Is Full Bay?
Yeah, nice little play from Sitab, but the Ignite was taken from the Unsealed spellbook.
Now, you know what I also like, Valdez, is Renekton getting ahead. But he's not. He was ahead, and then they were like, well, cool, Varus is still getting ahead. Now, Aphelios is getting some money here, but I don't really think this lane swap is accomplishing what they would like it to do. Now, yes, Aphelios needs to scale in this game to be relevant, so like he needs money, as Bible is just going to help proxy this wave, which is kind of funny. I don't know if it's really necessary.
Yeah, like the Varus is just gonna clear it. Like he doesn't have to sit there.
Well, if he does, if he hits it with that Q, then he can one-shot these Canadians after one arrow. So I don't know about this. It's getting better if they're lined up. But the Aphelios didn't really get that much money on the top side of the map, as Frog might actually just die. So I'm a little bit concerned about what this lane swap means, because ordinarily,
it's an unplayable lane for him.
If you have a champion who can hold his own into the Varus, then you feel okay. Yeah, this is going to be Cloud Drake, so pretty sure that's a bug with the game, but whatever.
Hey, at least it's not Chemtech. You know, that's the only experiment we really did, right? Like, we were like, okay, well, let's see if Ox can summon the Chemtech Drake. Okay, it's not Chemtech Soul, so we solved that. Sorry, Lunana. We'll get the shivs in the next game, maybe. But DK, they don't care. They're like, no. We're so good at this game, we can do whatever we want. We can go back to old metas. We can play cool comps. We don't have to play meta.
So because they're running a Vi and a Renekton, they're hoping to burst down the Varus. Satap with Ludens. Now he is also playing Ludens Azir into a Scion, and is side laning.
Just don't hit the Scion forehead.
So, you know, in some ways I get it. In other ways I feel very sad for Satap because it's not going to be a fun game to play Azir, because to get close to this Varus that's super fed right now, it's going to take a lot of help. It's going to take a lot of resources. Poolbay is going to take this turret. Can't believe Varus was robbed. But it's okay. Rahel's just chilling. He's got enough gold.
He went Duskblade, by the way, first.
Yeah.
So we might get some of that resetting Varus in these team fights. It actually might be helpful because there is a lot of pick on the side of DRX. Of course, the one condition is that you actually do have to get a kill or a takedown at least. So we'll see if they can manage that from ahead. I think it's going to have a lot of value. If you can't get those picks on DK, you're going to be struggling.
Yeah, and I think Ghostblade is kind of, I don't want to say it's useless, but you don't want to be rushing that here. It's not good on this patch. It's also just, you don't want to be running fast at DRX. You just want to be hitting them and then kind of kiting back slowly and wait to press your cleanse button. But the Duskblade, as you say, in a team fight is going to be super useful with those resets. Especially if you kill the Renekton, who's not going to be, like, he's not easy to kill, but he doesn't have a Lulu. You know, they could have picked Lulu instead of this Leona, which is pick a melee. You know, like I said, pick a melee to lose lane.
Yeah.
So I'm not liking DRX's chances very much right now. It's only a 400 gold lead, but it's a 2 Drake lead. Now they can let this Herald go, D+ can, but I think if Varus gets here in time, they can test. Like, Rahel is coming over. Thanatos in position.
Let's see what this Leona gets done in team fights, because they're going to need at least that, right? If you did pick this into this lane as, okay, the Scion is getting bullied here. Thanatos flashes away and the Leona dies after throwing out that. As now the immense burst damage comes out from Rahel, and everybody just able to pile on to one target. Pleta, having no value, gets charmed immediately. He is flashing in, though. Bible is kind of isolated as the rest of the team's still trying to rotate around this blue buff. And yeah, it is going to be DK just slowly picking away at the entirety of the team. It is a full ace into Leona that pops up right afterwards.
Lucid picking up 4 kills in total now in this game. As watch Thanatos in this fight, look at how much he does. He absorbs the Glacial, gets a flash at a career, then, like, just watch him. He's, like, running in. There's no Leandries. He knows this. And then he kites back here. Instantly, Leona's dead. Then Poolbay goes in here for the Everfrost, which hits 2. And look at him. He ults back in with, like, no health. And then survives with, like, I don't know, 250 health here. And then, like, obviously, Pleta, he tries his best here because he's got a Renekton. And they're like, maybe we can actually turn this, but no one can get on top of her health. He just comes back in to join, and all the kills going over to the Wukong here in this fight means that Wukong probably on 2 items. Well, not actually quite. Yeah, it's still only 17 minutes into the game, but Thanatos, he is a good player, you know? I think he's very good. We'll sing his praises.
Hot take from Wolf.
I know, I mean, I'm just saying, I think he's pretty all right. I know I'm the guy who says I don't think...
Are you okay? Like, are you sure you can say that live on broadcast? Like, you're not going to gain a bunch of haters now that you just had that insanely
Well, I want to say it because I'm always the guy who's like, by the way, Kana will play for the rest of the year. I'm sorry, everyone. That's just how it's going to go. Yeah. But I'm also like, this guy's really good.
Yeah.
So hopefully he finds a home, whether it's in D+'s main roster next year or somewhere else. But, man, the guy is pretty insane.
Yeah. Well, it's not every day that you get to isolate a tank player and say, "Hey, this guy like had an insane play." But yeah, it was great. It was good. It was good stuff. Good soaking of the damage and baiting the team, and that's part, like, one of the small pieces of the puzzle here for DK. Someone actually in chat was like, "Yes, Chronicler also saying the team sucks and it's very overrated." Also true. For any scouts that are out there watching this, yes, this team, yes, CL is, you know. Anyway, this team has great coaching as well. Everybody's playing on the same page. All the players are doing a great job, playing at their full potential. I actually don't know who the CL coach is for D+. I would love to know. We don't have it on this sheet here. Maybe Yundo knows?
Yeah, Yundo probably knows. I can also verify it between games, but yeah, I actually haven't followed all of the coaching staff for these teams because it changes actually very often and very quickly, and they're also usually multi-staff, so like it's not really a one-man job. And the head coach, the line's a little bit more blurred, but yeah, I am curious. Someone in chat will answer faster than I can look it up, so I'm not going to look it up right now. But Soul Point is going to go over to D+, plus that turret. Second of the game. Gold lead is pretty immense. As Sponge, I don't know if you want to go for that one, man. That's one spill I don't think you can clean up, okay?
Yeah.
That table's just too sticky.
I watched the new Disney Pixar movie Elementals yesterday.
Oh, was it good?
It was pretty good. Yeah, it was a very feel-good kind of movie. Sponge is probably he's alone. But actually he's by and he's totally fine. As they're not quite able to lock him down even after the chains.
He made the Scion make angry train noises win.
Yeah, that's true. And yeah, there's a moment where one of the water characters gets sucked up into a sponge, and it's very funny. I just thought about Sponge in that moment. So I just wanted to shout him out. I'm watching the movie. I'm like, huh, Sponge. I'm gonna be casting him tomorrow.
Yeah, that you are. He survived without flash. He's gonna have his flashback soon. Setab he's struggling a little bit this one. Deathcap almost done for the RE. Pulbay's feeling very good about his situation. He's got it now. And so he's a big threat in the side lane as Pleta can't be here. That's an illegal zone.
DED.
Illegal zone.
That spells dead.
It says right there, D+ Kia members only on the wall. He didn't read it.
So now Sponge is like, you know what would be best if after our AD carry just died, let me run straight into the enemy team and force a 4v5 fight. It's kind of looking like my solo queue games now.
Don't get me started on what
he's just going to run away. Yeah. And he should survive. But yeah, Denunciator calling out exclamation point no tilt, one of the commands in my channel. Not allowed to tilt.
I auto-filled support today. I was trying to play some Ivern games, and I auto-filled support.
And you played Ivern anyway?
No, what did I play? Oh, I played Rakan, because the guy wouldn't swap with me. I was first pick. I was like, I'll pick Rakan, it seems safe. My AD carry, he was very mad that he also auto-filled into AD carry, and he picked Skarner.
Oh, God.
So it was not a win, turns out. It did not work out.
What, but Rakan Skarner, that's, you know, like you engage and then Skarner lands his stun and then he ults, and I see the synergy there. I think that guy was big brain.
Yeah, he went 0-3, and when he was at 35 CS, I was at 35 CS, and he did blame me, and I was like, but you picked Skarner. And he said a lot of bad words. So I didn't talk to him anymore. After that, I accepted my loss of
What a
LP.
troubled individual.
Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
Man needs to get out of YouTube chat.
It's the plight of all YouTube chatters. What can you do? And it's DK, they're sitting here 4,000 gold ahead. We're not talking about this game because, first of all, it's challengers. This is kind of what we do if you're new around here. But also, yeah, we really need to break this one down.
No,
Pleta got caught in the ruler spot.
Yeah, he did.
But
with even less map control than Ruler has in those moments usually. Like, Ruler kind of, it's like, I have some vision and it's a really tricky play to catch him. He was just out there farming. You know, and thought he was safe, but part of the map is actually occupied by D+ Kia. As, I mean, we're looking at like some of these numbers across the board here. Frog has maintained a level lead, or sorry, a level parity. Setab, a level down, right, has been very low eco this game. Is trying desperately to build a Shadow Flame. which means he will hurt Thanatos even less.
Maybe
right?
he'll get it next game.
Yeah, like Wukong's laugh just then.
Yeah.
I think that kind of...
Buckets and Glove was praying for your Skarner ADC teammate.
Thanks, I really appreciate it. Thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. Going out to my Skarner guy. I don't even
What
want to call
was
him
his name? Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was in English though.
That Skarner guy, probably.
Actually, I do remember what it was,
Frog
but
is
I can't
attempting
say
to do... Oh, yeah, that's true. Probably not a good idea to... Frog is still attempting to do damage here to the Scion. I'm not so sure about this. He still does have Dominus, and I think he will eventually win this with Dominus if he uses it.
I mean, I don't think he wants to use it, yeah. Jack shows is tricky, you know, I don't... And
Can we get a Sunfire damage reading on that one, Yundo?
I don't really think you want to mess around with that. I wouldn't. I mean, Steel Cap's on top of it. But he does have Cleaver, so, I mean, with Dominus, I think with like a huge W stun and big damage there, I think maybe he wins it. It's hard to know. I kind of want to see it play out. Can we go back? Can we just like chrono break?
Can we get a replay?
Can we learn? I want to learn.
Yeah.
I think he wins, but like maybe actually Jack shows is just too good.
There's the sub mode for the click noise. I guess it happened again. Sorry about that, guys. Nothing we can do about it. Although we all know that casters do control the production around here as well. As we're getting in the back line, Satab is able to do a pretty nice job of zoning, but Lucid is just going to get in there. Rahel gets the kill onto Satab. Pulbay does go down as mid laners are out. Actually, DRX are up a member, but they're still being hunted down here as Blooded does not have much peel. They're going in on this one. Sponge does get away as, okay, Thanatos does not have too much damage backup, so he's going to have to get away as well somehow. He's going to land that Q as he is still somehow unkillable. Frog still trying to cleaver him down, and finally Thanatos will be forced to flash away. DK, they do somewhat lose the fight, but they stop the Baron at least, I guess.
They stop the Baron. It is Cloud Soul that's sitting on the Drake pit. If we watch this one more time, Frog builds up his rage here on the side of the fight, instantly deletes Bible, and then Pulbay misses his engage, has to stopwatch after ulting back. So this is a very disjointed fight here. I really liked how quickly DRX decided to turn onto Pulbay and delete him, because you already know the support's zoned away. There's not a lot of peel for Rahel, and he alone, like, he can't actually get in there and chase them down. So it's quote-unquote a win for DRX. We'll see what it means.
By engage is strong, but he immediately dies instead as a not good fight. Okay, that was really bad. Actually, they're just going to totally ace them. Nobody dies on the side of DK. Everybody is so low on health, but it does not matter. That's what DRX's comp is meant to do, but unfortunately the coordination and team fighting is just A+.
It was really good.
On the side of DK.
There you go. I like that. They connect
we connect to plus D.
Yeah. Sponge goes in here after he's already at like half health, so he's just instantly deleted. Fleta also can't actually do damage in this fight because he's on a Calibrum Crescendum setup here, so not exactly ideal, unfortunately. There's just no front to back, and once Vi takes all that damage and then ults in, it's kind of done. But I appreciate the attempt. You know you're in a bad spot in this game, and maybe if you get that blow-up kill, if you're decisive like you did on Pulbay in the Baron fight, maybe you can actually get something done. But only at 429 gold lead for the Renekton as the only place where things are looking up, but even as we've seen, he can't really do anything, as now D+ can just group to take out this Cloud Drake. It'll be their soul. Pretty good soul for them, considering the Ahri and the Wukong, and I guess the Karma. Feel pretty good about that, already moving around the map really fast.
Yeah. Bible, he's gotten himself into some really precarious situations in this game, but that one, he locked Sponge down and forced Sponge to make a decision, right? It's either you die or you have to engage into us, and so it was kind of like a half-hearted last-second engage. Speaking of which, we got another one here from DRX, as they're trying to engage onto a Scion. Especially at this point, that's just not going to work, as he has Sunfire and Jack shows and some extra health. You're probably going to be taking more damage than you actually give off, as Korea really trying to force this one. They're trying to get into the backline onto Rahel, but a simple change will get the trick. Get the job done. Do the trick. Okay, we got there in the end. Get the trick! And this game is, it's over. Well, the game is over. DK is going to push the bot lane.
New tricks.
Yeah.
That's right, Karma. You tell him.
Lastly and only. It's definitely not what she says. Rahel might die.
Nah, he's fine. He's okay.
This game is
Why is it like
Drover.
Karma's voice lines are like really loud?
It's just the way it works here.
The observer camera is like right next to her mouth or something. Like,
I can just imagine a cartoon of just Karma like screaming into a mic. Well, DRX gonna give it one last shebang at the end of this game, but DK gonna take down the Nexus 20-5 in kills, and that was that. GG.
Yeah, I thought it was, unfortunately, the composition had too many holes on the side of DRX if they fall behind, right? And the Scion level 1 happened. And then they lane swap. I think lane swapping was one of the things that really took away all of their tempo because, yeah, you want to get the Aphelios money, but you didn't get that much money as we're going to watch this fight again for some reason. Rahel's stopwatch timing.
Stopwatch.
Very good. And then he's just like, bye, peace out.
He catches Setab as he's back.
Yeah.
No flash, no problem.
No issues. And then Lucid is gonna help clean up house here. Like, I think that if they don't lane swap, like things go worse too. Like, they go badly as well. But like, they lost all sorts of tempo, and then Renekton's almost solo killed, not solo killed, but killed under turret down the bottom side, and they can't actually make a play onto the Scion anymore to try to get the Renekton further ahead and use him. Feels like he did the most damage on DRX. Frog did, but ultimately,
yeah,
it doesn't
that's
matter
a problem.
if you. It's a problem, but it's also like use the Renekton power, like push, play towards him, get him further ahead, and then fight with him in the Vi, and don't build Ludens into Scion. Probably.
Yeah, I mean,
I get why he did
rough.
it. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And at the end of the day, DK, they use the Scion, they use the double range bot lane, they play around their win conditions, their team fights are strong. Couple of moments where you can see like DRX are also a strong team. They try to flip the Baron, they try to make plays. I like how they didn't just sit around and lose, at least. They're like, well, we have a pick comp, we have to use it. And they kind of got caught in a weird spot there where Sponge was getting tethered down, he had to engage, and
who do you think?
Plato was really not able to get enough damage in on that fight.
Who do you think's gonna get it? They just gave it to Rahel, huh?
Okay. Well, he had over
1,000
DPM, so
that's kind of like
damage comes through again.
Yeah, it's like if the DPM gets over 950, everyone just kind of put their pens sort of move to the bottom side of the map. I voted for Lucid. I thought he had fantastic team fights. I thought his early game was beautiful. I think part of the reason why Rahel was able to get the advantages he did was because he just covered the bottom lane. They set up that really nice trap to get further ahead where things looked a little bit dire. It's baited for Bible, right? Like, it looked like, oh, yeah, we got this guy. This guy's walking into Leona wall. And then he shows up and saves the day. I thought that was a really pivotal play. He stole a lot of kills in team fights. Like, his KDA wasn't really the most impressive thing, but I thought he just team fought really well, set up the early game really well. But, you know, Varus, he did a lot of shooty McShoot. His positioning was good.
Yeah. No, it was a really clean game. I think it was like, you know, Rahel is just a really reliable AD carry, right? And the fact that he doesn't die, I can kind of see the angles where it's like, hey, this guy, once again, is just doing insane amounts of damage, never dying, always there for the team, and he does get it in the end. So DK, once again, undefeated. Let's see if anything changes after the break.
집중하세요.
Hello and welcome back, lovely chatters of the Twitch chat variety, and also you, YouTube. I am Valdez, with me is Walp, and we're in the middle of DK blasting yet another team in Challenger League. What's it going to take for someone to take down this team, Wolf?
I don't know. Probably a little bit more consistent drafting, maybe a little bit more. I don't know. The lane choices were what really got me, and maybe I'm tulling on this a little bit too hard. I think it was a really good game from D+ just in general, but I think DRX still played a little bit better around their composition and also just played more for the Renekton.
Posture check.
Nah,
Yeah, my posture's perfect. I
yeah,
don't know what
I'm
you're talking about.
good down here. So, just like
Hello.
this is how DRX is feeling right now. A little slump down after that loss.
So
But, they could bounce back, okay? They could come back. They could
speak for
straighten
yourself.
Up. They could straighten up a little bit, you know?
This is my normal posture, so
It's not really his normal posture.
this is how I sit all the time.
That's not how he sits all the time. He actually never sits like this.
DRX selected red side.
Ooh, another red side picker.
Lose on blue, lose on red. No, I mean,
No,
we don't know.
hold on about this.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll give him a chance.
This will be interesting, though, because I wonder what they're going to try to get with this. Maybe they'll try to get a little bit more bot side control early instead of picking for solo lanes, then save counter for later.
GigaChad Muska knows my life. Are you just wearing gym shorts and just the suit top?
Actually, yes.
Can confirm. That's exactly what I'm wearing today. I showed up as if I was going to the gym.
Valdez
actually.
rocks these giant, like I say giant, they're actually just like normal size, but like they look huge, like they're noisy, right? They're loud, these loud orange shorts. Like you see him coming from like 2 miles away, you're like, oh, there's Valdez. And when he walks into the room, everyone looks at him, and if they haven't seen it yet, they're like, wow, nice shorts. I have to mention this.
They
because
have to say something.
The entire room now is about Valdez's shorts.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what you were doing before. Like, if Valdez just walked past a wedding, like, everyone would just be like, let's take photos of the guy on the shorts. Like, it's no longer about the bride.
Absolutely. And I have the orange sneakers to go along with it as well.
Yeah. He went orange.
Yeah, the Hokas. The Hoka. Can recommend.
Yeah, they're looking all right. Let's take a look at these bans, shall we? A little Rel taken off the board.
Any ban lookers?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take a peek. We do a little peek, a little wait. You know, well, look at that Vi. I'm checking it out, but then we gotta wait for a second. Let's see what's coming next year. Is DRX, Nico. Still gonna have to ban that one. So you picked red side. You still have to ban the OPs, right? Nico's gone. They took Lucian away. Ivern.
Let Rel play.
They don't care about Ivern. Let Rel play?
Yeah.
Nah.
How come everybody hates Rel? Why are we not giving her a chance here at the LCK Challenger
I think
League?
she's a little bit too strong right now. They want to keep it. They want to keep a fair game going. It's like, well, you're on red side, you ban Nico. We'll ban Rel because like that's not fair. They also banned the Vi. That was picked early for DRX last game.
Yep.
They're not going to deal with that.
I think that's a good shout. Like, even though Sponge, he didn't amount to too much at the end of by the end of the game, he still did quite a lot in terms of showing off that Vi is very strong. So they're going to ban Vi, they take another strong jungler, and they pass the baton to DRX, and we're going to have to see why they chose red side.
Sejuani, freebie pick here. Works with a lot of strong picks in this meta. Maybe we'll see Frog pick up the Renekton now to deny it, but I'd rather see DRX try to save counter pick here. This is a flex pick, potentially.
Hoppy Prio.
Yeah, just going to put that one in. I think that's fair. As long as you get one of your bottom lane champs here, preferably the 80 carry, but you could grab something like a Rakan here, or a Yuumi, or a Milio. You know, one of these picks, I'm okay with it. I wouldn't mind going Poppy, Milio here, and then going, are you going to play Aphelios into this? Could be a little bit risky with all the picks that are available. And, you know, it's like Aphelios, Yuumi versus, okay, we have Milio Draven, for example, or Milio Tristana. But no, just going to pick the Renekton because they're scared of Sejuani Renekton synergy.
The Renekton, the Azir.
I think it's coming. I think it's coming.
Well, I think DK will take the Azir away.
Well, yeah, but both picks are going to be in the game. But yeah, not on the same team this time.
I already forgot what the next line is. This happens all the time. I see the copy spots. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course.
The choices, right? Isn't it the choices?
The weird choices,
the weird choices.
The wrong choices or something. I don't know.
They keep getting away with it. I don't know.
They keep getting away with it because they are winning with it, and yeah.
Well, we're just going Ahri. We're not even gonna be shy about it. Just gonna straight up be like, we're playing an Ahri Poppy setup into Azir. I don't know if I feel good about that. I don't know if that's actually, is that good? Is that strong? I don't think that's strong. I don't think that's why we pick red side. I don't know. I don't know, Valdez. Like, you might have counterpick for your bot lane.
When Azir dashes in, you can stop it.
Yeah, but he just puts his hand shoulders down. He hits the fox. He just pushes it.
Well,
and Poppy can't do anything about that.
True.
It seems like it's not a good thing.
I mean, I think the Poppy in general is good against the other dashes.
They got Jack Sejuani on the other side. That seems really good.
The Azir in isolation, definitely. Yeah, I don't know. I think they could have at least taken the Azir. Like, I think you could have gone like Renekton Azir, and then maybe look to take Poppy if you really wanted to go for that.
D plus are just like, no Varus for you, by the way. You're not going to get to play that game. We're not. You have bottom side counter pick, but we're not going to give you Varus. You're not going to be able to go, aha, karma, get wrecked.
So yeah, so he'll just play a good 80 carry instead.
Yeah. Aphelios seems strong here. They banned the Varus away. The Ashe is gone, so...
I was about to say this is the Ashe game because I didn't see the ban.
Nah, it's bad. It's just going to be Jinx into Aphelios. I thought maybe they'd do like some Milio Draven or something like that, but it's going to be Jinx Leona, Braum. I'm going to be honest, I don't love the Braum here, but I think it's okay.
What do you mean?
I think it's okay.
They picked Braum in a Korean region. You have to love the Braum.
I know this is a bit controversial, but I think it's decent here. But I'd like to see a Nautilus, to be honest. I'd actually rather see a Nautilus.
Okay, well, I will carry the torch. I love the Braum here. I just had to say it because I'm contractually obligated.
Yeah, that's what we do for some reason every time it's locked in. Not me, though. I try to stay away from it.
In general, he's going to level Q, and that's not going to be great. And he's going to try to hold the door, and
now, if
he'll get engaged upon anyway.
If he leveled W... I could be like
E
or E. I mean, whichever his door is on W or on E.
I think it's E.
Oh, I thought it was on W for some reason.
I think the W is where you jump
I don't love
to
the
an
Braum, so. Anyway, if he levels his shield, which is critically what we're talking about here, it gets those additional resistances. My how much do I love the Braum here is like tilting towards loving the Braum here a little bit more. Especially when you consider how much damage he's going to have to absorb here into this composition for D+. My biggest issue with this draft here for DRX is the Ahri mid 2v2 into Azir Sejuani. This doesn't feel great, especially if you consider that a Jinx rocket will also be involved in a lot of those skirmishes. So I think D+, I mean, it's Lucid on Sejuani with the Jax. They have Permafrost synergy here. It's not... You know, it's not the worst comp here for DRX, but I just think D+, I mean, this is exactly how they want to play the game.
Yeah, I think there are some synergy issues on the side of DRX for sure. Like, you have decent...
I was right, the shield is on W.
No.
E is for death.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What, somebody just said the W is the hop.
I don't know. I'm looking it up. This is embarrassing.
Man. I don't know, man. Who even plays Braum? You know who knows? Is Ox.
Yeah.
Because he's the one person on this team who plays Braum.
Yeah, we don't love
Shield
the Braum.
is E. Okay, see? There you go. Jump is W. Twitch chat has got my back.
That seems counter. That just doesn't seem like how Riot normally does skills. Man, I don't know about
behind Braum. It's okay. You can like the character that is Braum without liking the pick. Guys, we do have game number 2. Let's hop into the Riftaruni.
Got him.
두두둥가, a 도라도라, a galaxy, 모두 등장. Man, that was such a such a great moment in our League of Legends cultural history. That one's gonna be like it's gonna go down in history. Like the kids are gonna learn about it in 50 years.
Just to make sure chat wasn't trolling, I actually went and like legit looked up Unbreakable is on E. It is on E. All right. All right. Guess I just had that one wrong in my brain. So I'm not a Braum player.
No. So Sponge, he has an ability called Steadfast Presence. He also has the helicopter, which can knock people away. That should be good in general against hard engage. You're looking at Jax, you're looking at Sejuani, you're looking at Leona. But something Wolf was pointing out before, Azir and Jinx going to have a field day. And as long as you can avoid the ult, I think the Poppy might struggle a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on the Sponge. Like, I don't mind the Poppy priority too much personally, but can he actually get it done is another question. I think, you know, you can say, you know, in terms of like black and white, yes, Poppy is good against hard engage, but I think the execution here is going to be much more difficult than it seems at first.
I mean, we have seen, weirdly enough, I feel like weaker teams, which DRX is not, but just in both leagues, in Challengers and in LCK proper, like we actually see Poppy kind of warp games where weaker teams randomly win objective fights because Poppy just gets a good ult. And so it feels like a really strong pick for that reason that we see teams like Guangdong pick up all the time, where Dudu is just like, nah, it's actually I ulted everyone, and like we will actually beat a top 3 LCK team in this team fight because I had one good ult. And she can really warp things like that. And maybe Sponge can also, because he's great at objective setup and fights, we've seen him steal a lot of objectives. Good those moments, but over here,
say tab. Okay.
That wasn't even about the 2v2, that was just about some really interesting choices in terms of where we're going to go to ward.
So the timing of the ward is actually a little late. You got to get in there and get that ward down to see if you're getting ganked early before the guy's there, right? Because if the guy's there, if the Sejuani's there, you just get dove on. And imagine if I think it's called, what is it, like Arctic Assault or something?
Yeah,
if that hits you,
charge hits,
you're probably dead even with your flash. Because then you just get flashed on, the passive stacks up, and then you die.
Yeah.
So a little bit iffy there for Setep, but now he doesn't have flash, but he has Ahri, so we'll see.
I mean, he hit the Q before that, right? So I think he had a chance to ward earlier, like safely. Just wanted to have the ward timer, I guess, a little bit longer. So felt like he was safe enough at that moment to put it down later. But yeah, risky choice. Hit another Orb of Deception as well, right after losing his flash. So he still has a lot of pressure on in this lane, even though it's one more. I mean, Zaytab is kind of styling on him right now. Yeah, even though he lost that flash, he's feeling fairly comfortable because he's got the Pots of Corruption and can just kind of keep queuing. And if he keeps hitting those queues, Polbey have a bit of a rougher time, reliant on the healing now from that Doran's Ring, or rather regen.
Yeah, at the end of the day, both mid laners should be able to just reset, and now we do have Setep down
stop
flash. Him? I wanted to ask you, Wolf, what is so...
Yes, you can.
What is so deceptive about the Orb of Deception?
Honestly, not a whole lot. Like, I think it's pretty transparent what's going on with it.
Setep's dead. As we have a 3-man gank here in the mid lane, there's just zero escape here, especially with Leona. Just like insult to injury gets in there. Unfortunately, Bible does get the kill with his Ignite, but the melee Leona getting in and Setep surrounded means there's just no hope.
Yep, no flash required for Polbey. Doesn't need to flash. I think that they were trying to communicate, like, does Polbey actually go in for the kill? Like, maybe he flashes for it, and then he's like, I don't want to flash. So the Ignite just ticks down, but that's why Lucid held the autos, because he didn't want to steal the kill base. Awkward jump scare. It's going to be okay. So Setep stops the back and then greeds for like one more, and that's just too much. And he has no flash and will be punished. His Bible is not here. They should have been communicating this because obviously you can see on the bottom side they're hard pushing onto Rahel, and he is alone. So Leona is missing. So a bit of an oversight here from Setep, who has been hitting some big orbs of deception, which is actually not that deceptive.
I mean, everybody can see it.
He's walking forward too much. Gets punished.
Deceptive for the same reason Blanc is the deceiver. Every time I queue for a game of League of Legends, I think I'm going to have fun.
Wow.
But I was deceived, and it turns out playing against them is not fun. I think maybe my take is that the damage that comes back is true damage, right? So I think it's deceptively a lot. It goes in, you're like, oh, that didn't hurt much. It comes back, you're like, oh, crap. That was a lot of damage. Deceptively strong.
I think sometimes it's, for me, like, when I was learning the game, like, I'm like, oh, I think I dodged it, then it hits me twice instantly because I'm on the edge of it. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
That was deceiving for me quite a bit. I mean, Setab, he hit the charm just a moment ago, traded back aggressively. He's already got his null magic picked up, grabbed a Doran's ring too, so he's laning very well, actually, into Pool Bay here. And the start of this lane was a bit disastrous for him, obviously, losing the flash and dying, but because he's a good enough player to keep it competitive here, I think he's still relevant. As he's going to get ganked again, by the way, still no flash.
Yeah, he is level 6, but oh, he just gets comboed. Flash comes in, and no ult for Lucid. That would have been a lot more successful had he had it. They try to link a couple of stuns together, but Setab is forced to use the Spirit Rush, and he will get away.
And, you know, Setab has teleport, so actually I think he feels pretty good about everything that went down just there. He's like, yeah, don't have to flash, because I don't have it, but he just ults away, handles it pretty well. Merc Tread's picked up. Like,
I think he had it before that fight as well, so I think he was just like, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's a huge mitigation on the damage, even just with the MR, not to mention. I don't think it affects Sejuani's Arctic Assault.
No.
Because they're both knockups, but still, I think the extra MR.
The MR, I mean, he had the Null Magic Mantle, but yeah, he's going to have some additional MR here, and it will be good against other CC forms. As going to be a DRX Drake pickup here, and I mean, so far, stabilizing quite well. Bible
no flash. He used it in the mid lane gank, and now with the door up, there's no way for Rahel to trade back. A nice follow-up gank from DRX after that objective was picked up. I think they should have known that Sponge was in the area, but maybe overestimating their ability to survive.
So now that we have Cloud, Ocean, feeling like this time it's going to be Chemtech.
All right, let's test it. Ox Casts, are you in the chat? Ox, are you
Not
there?
But I think...
Is it Chemtech?
I think he just stepped away for a moment. I think it's coming in.
Ox, do we have a Chemtech Drake here in this game? Chemtech Soul? Oh, looks like he's not here.
It's okay. It's all right. He's spending his time.
So probably Mountain this time, I'm guessing.
We'll see. I'm looking forward to how this Hex Flash play is going to go. Yeah, it's
I like your reaction. Yeah, okay.
Like, don't think so. Kind of feeling like, nah. But look, he has his ult. This is an early objective fight where Poppy can make a large impact. They're going to push mid here, but that might just be enough time for DRX to lock this one down. Red-white for Pleta.
Yeah, they're in a pretty good spot. All 5 members here very nicely set up.
Jax on the angle, though. I mean, if he gets a big counter-strike.
Yeah. Looks like they do want to engage on this nice block by Frog, and now the door is up as DRX just trying to get away. The Poppy ult knocks away 2. And there it is. The disengage value comes through. DRX pick up the objective.
Yeah, with the Poppy ult, there's just nothing that Thanatos could do. He was like charging his counter-strike. He's like, oh, they're all stacked. I really want to do something here. I've got flash counter-strike. I want to get on top of this team and stun them and win the fight with Pool Bay's ult. But Keeper's Verdict, as they're too slow to get to the objective, just allows Sponge to easily say, sorry, a little bit too late. And pick up the Eye of the Herald here, and maybe a lot of money here for DRX. They are significantly behind in gold still, but that will change once that crash comes through. As you can see, the lead here mostly in the jungle, but a little bit of a CS lead down here for Rahel also. Not entirely sure how that one really came to pass, especially because he spent a lot of the game under the turret. Just looks like some missed CS here for Pleta. And he did roam up earlier.
Do we love the Braum here now?
I mean, it was made an impact.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say no, but like it did some things.
Yeah. The combination though of Poppy and Braum is pretty obnoxious to play into, I will say. Even Renekton as well, which actually oftentimes does provide a pretty suitable front line. Ate the Sejuani ult there, had the backup immediately from the Braum and the Poppy, and then DK's like, well, I guess we just can't do anything. As level 5 here is Bible. They're trying to engage now onto Pool Bay, who has flash. The counter engage comes in, 3-on-3 in the mid lane. No ultimate available as Bible is still level 5. No ult here for Lucid either, but they're still able to win the 3v3 as DRX just running away leaves Sponge to the wolves.
Polbey just grabs his headset mic really closely and puts it really close to his mouth and says, "Didn't even ult." Didn't even ult.
Still have ult, by the way.
By the way, still has ult.
Yeah, and Lucid is
there
going
it
to
goes.
die, and so is Polbey. Okay, guys.
Should've just held his ult. What's he doing with that ult? He's all cool. Like, I still got my ult. He still got flash. Still got ult. He should have just kept him. You know, should have just kept him. Not entirely sure about this one. Ooh,
we are not connected plus D on this fight.
No. I mean, this is fine. Like this, I'm still liking this. Like, still feeling pretty good about this. Not liking the Braum that much here. Sponge is dead. Okay, big damage. Clear the wave, and then don't see an angle. Not really. But we're gonna go anyways, aren't we, Setab? We got the soldier set. Or sorry, Polbey, rather.
Just get dunked on by Setab.
Setab just dodges, flashes, kills Lucid. Turret shot comes through. Polbey flashes.
Lucid. Yeah.
Oh!
That was all Setab there under that turret.
He pressed Control T, man.
He juked Polbey. He charmed Lucid. Went forward once again. Did the damage. They engaged before Bible got there as well. I don't know if they had a sense or if they knew that he was coming, but if Bible gets there and he's somehow able to join the dive, then obviously it doesn't do anything like that because he probably just locked down Setab and he dies immediately, so he can't trade back anything. But
it's just, you know,
really nice timing.
You're on a website, you don't like it, things aren't going well. Press Control T, a whole clean new slate, new opportunity, right? Setab, rough early game. Control T, not even in incognito tab. We all watched it. You're all there for it. Okay.
It's live on broadcast.
Yep.
This is a professional rebroadcast of a game that happened in 2025, but still live.
No favor.
Rebroadcast. Yes.
The Herald is going to get dropped here as Bible and Lucid are trying to punish this play. And
this is now a Braum cast.
I don't know about that.
I don't think so. We don't love the Braum.
We like his mustache. We'll be transparent about that.
I
don't
love
think
his
this
attitude.
is gonna connect. That's
that did not we connect plus D either.
No. Huh. That was a little bit of a connect to dash D.
Connect to dash D. I like that.
Huh. All right. Well, let's see if they can actually control this Drake here. DRX. 700 gold up. Pleta cleanses.
You ever just step on the chompers and regret everything you've ever done in your life?
Yeah.
Here's Bible. He's
I have
dead.
done that.
I don't know why he...
You ever just step on the entire team of DRX? And
just accidentally?
You ever just accidentally step on the entire enemy team? I regret every choice you've ever made.
Oh, boy. Yeah, and it doesn't look like DK are playing quite as clean as we have seen them play in the past. I mean, getting caught at multiple different angles. And it is Chemtech.
I told you guys. I mean, there was a bug in the game one. That's why it didn't end up being Hextech, but yeah.
I guess Ox...
He was watching earlier, it's fine. Nah, I mean, he's probably watching. I knew it. Ox casually tuned in. He's like having a snack. He's like, oh, let's see how Challenger's going. He watched the Ari play in mid. He's like, yeah, I'm good, I'm out. As, yeah, this is just Bible getting caught here. Getting,
this is not the way.
Getting flashed on and stuff. It's fine. It's not the way. It's not what was written in the Bible.
True.
Of League of Legends. Faker didn't say that. He did not say make that play. But, you know, sometimes try to walk on water. And look, it's still winnable here for D+, but I'm liking the chances of this DRX composition a lot. You know, I'm getting closer to loving the Braum here. Each and every fight. I mean, he's 2-0 and 2, 100% kill contribution. All right. And he still has a good mustache. I mean, that's not changed. It's still there. I looked at every time I check careers champion profile. It's still there. It's still there. He didn't shave it.
Yeah, not yet. I don't know. I don't think Braum would look good with a shaven face. I don't think he should do that, personally. That's just my take, though. He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
His facial hair.
I mean, it takes a long time to
grow that out. Rahel might just die here. Charm, though, is going to miss, and Lucid is around to heal at least, but that was looking pretty scary. Everfrost already finished here.
It's going to be second Herald, and what's the cross map is to, like, almost lose Jinx on a hard push down here. There's no plates, so this is going to take a long time. They are going to lose this mid turret. D+, man, I mean, it's so rare for us to see a situation where D+ is actually behind in the early game. So, you know, when we do see it, sometimes you wonder, like, oh, they are going to get first break here regardless, though.
How does that happen?
Nobody's dealing with the Jinx. And then they rotated up and defended it. But, look, this is a rare scenario. Let's enjoy it. Where D+ is behind at 15. And let's see if they can figure out how to win from here. It's a very small gold deficit. They are behind, technically speaking.
Yeah. And it's Chemtech Soul, so DRX's lead doesn't amount to too much.
Coffee spill alert.
Coffee spill alert. Coffee spill alert. It's okay. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. It was like a little splash.
It's a reasonable one. You know, it's not out of control.
I mean, there's a
We've
lot
had
of
some
stains over
rough
here
ones.
that I assume are from Chronicler because he sits here. It's just a little bit more stained.
I blame Achilles. I think he sat there once.
He did. He said bad things about you too.
Yeah, he did. He wrote on the desk.
Still there.
Brendan sucks or something.
I don't know where it is, but it was there.
Yeah, it's gone now.
Where did it go? Weird.
I don't know. It's just gone now. Just like the
coffee stain that I just cleaned up. Look at that.
Yeah, it's gone. It's magic. Very nicely done. I spill a lot, but I always clean up. Thanks,
Me too.
As this Renekton looks to be dead, Frog not even able to survive with the dominance there right at the last second. Just goes down.
Can't believe they killed him before Rahel's rocket got there.
Yeah, they should have left it for the Jinx. Just a big misplay there. No, DK going to be happy with the kill, and they get a kill on their
They have
Jax.
to dive this, but I think it might be a mistake.
Way too deep.
Yeah.
This is way too much. They're trying to really over-index into their lead. Now DK picks up one kill. They get the Jinx excited. The Braum ult, huge in this play.
Big?
Large.
If factual.
Gigantic.
If confirmed.
Thanatos is still free pushing in the top lane. They're going to get another
Yeah, I mean, this is like 2 turrets they're pick up for this for a total of 4. Sponge.
It's just a team macro diff. Every time with this team,
Bye.
they're just too good. Sponge is forced to go in here. He will burn down to Pulbay, who, by the way, went Leandri's and is dealing very much with the tanky front line.
Yeah, look at
and
that.
Down goes the turret.
He is a Leandri's enjoyer, as am I. And like at this moment, you have to go in. But they go in very slowly, and Bible buys so much time, the ult goes wide, so Rahel is just chilling, and then they're like, okay. Because as soon as you see that Sejuani, you don't get to say, I cancel it, all right, I take it back, I'm not diving. No, you are diving. And then everything went wrong. A great defensive play from Bible, who does ultimately end up dying, but bought a ton of time. And then, I'm not entirely sure what the thought process is here. Maybe he thinks he can...
Tier 1.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna say no on that one.
It's going to be a no for you, dog.
That's gonna be a no for me, dog. Yeah, that's what the kids say.
Whatever happened to Randy Jackson? Is he doing okay?
I don't know. Probably.
American Idol used to be on when I was a kid in New York, so that was a very long time ago. Over 11 years ago. As, yeah, now they're just being poked out. This is Azir having huge range advantage. Surprise, surprise. Just able to push them away, especially from ahead. This is working out really well. Rahel is feeling the pressure really, really nicely. He will go down, though, at the end of the day, as Pleta and Setap forced to flash away. The Braum is not there to hold up the door for them, although he will go down himself. As Thanatos looking for more, gets the pick onto Pleta, and Setap just going to get charmed up. He is absolutely chasing on into this one. Might die for it, as that deceptively strong orb is not enough damage, and Thanatos will live as Lucid gets the kill.
Look at him just make sure the minions can't kill his teammate. Jax gets to go home. That is teamwork right there. This, on the other hand, not so much, but gonna see the catch here on the Sponge. He's unable to actually make an impact with his ultimate in this fight, and you can see Frog is trying his best, but he gets pushed away. Setap is so incredibly low. Pulbay gets charmed here. There's a lot of damage coming through. It looks like maybe we're going in the meat grinder a little bit too much, but Thanatos still has flash. Thanatos was knocked away with the ultimate moments before of the Poppy, so Sponge was able to keeper's verdict him out. This is just hilarious.
Braum haters totally silent? No, exactly the opposite.
I mean, it's not his fault this time. Still don't love the Braum here, but...
Yeah. It's okay, we can like the Braum here without having to love it.
Yeah, we can be okay with it, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Are you okay savings bank Breon okay with it?
Yeah.
Or are you just like, okay?
I'm kind of okay, man, bro.
Okay. That's a decent amount of okay. I like that. Lucid, I don't know what he's doing. He actually baited out the steadfast presence, and this flank is huge. Planet's just dead for free. They had no idea that Thanatos was in the back line as they try to turn onto him, but once again, he is living with no health. How does he keep getting away with it? It's just not fair.
It's criminal.
Oh man, somebody lock this guy up, or maybe put him on a tier 1 team or something like that. Yeah, just lock him on an LCK team, haha. Yeah, that's going to be DK taking a huge fight once again. 4 kills. And Setab, unfortunately, the one guy who was doing well on this team, not able to help his team out.
He wasn't doing well, then he was, then he wasn't. Not his fault in a lot of those scenarios outside of lane. Just too far behind. So we're not even going to watch him try to do things to be irrelevant. So they knew Thanatos was here. But they didn't know. Like, they should have known.
They, assumed that he would just join with the team.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you're getting pushed this hard. You're so far behind that you're like, there's only one way out of this jungle. And the Tri-Brush was blocked by the Jax, and then counter-strikes a second time and absorbs a ton of damage. Jinx Rocket connects the Braum. Gonna get caught one more time. Nice try with the ultimate. But still got the good mustache, at least,
Yeah.
To fall back on that.
He's got that going on. He's looking great still. Flyers lol, please. That is very scary. I don't want to think about that. Let's please hold on to Thanatos at least.
Hey,
in the LCK.
for me, I just don't want him to be on this team next year. I want him to either be on an LCK team or be making more than LCK's LCK Challenger salary normally leads to be. So I want him to succeed elsewhere. Then maybe then LCK teams will see how good he is.
Lucid?
Both.
Yeah.
I want them to just
How about
have
Pulbay?
successful careers. Pulbay, he's still flanking.
Okay. So maybe in a couple of years. How about Rahel?
I mean, Rahel's played in the LCK a few times, did all right. I mean, look, these players are literally just going to go have a perfect round robin and then still not go to the LCK. So I just want them to make money as Bible.
Steadfast presence down. The Poppy from behind trying to help out. Tries to dash over. Will survive as Bible will go down as they are able to kite it back, as this comp loves to do. So down goes the Leona. And DK not able to convert off of that play.
Thanatos is 2 levels up on the Ahri. He's not really worried about her. He's going to push really hard. And despite Bible's death, they have a lot of deep vision here. Now behind the Baron pit.
Who is KT Papaya? Unless you're talking about Papa Smithy. And you're just making a joke. I don't get it, Chronicler.
Yeah, I don't know, but kind of strange, Brownie. What's going on?
He's not on my sheet. He's not on my
I
roster
hope
sheet.
KT Durian plays next game. Okay, Rahel is coming over here, misses the zap. I think it's time to start a Baron. I think we can
I'm
do that
legit
now,
just
D+.
memeing.
Can we?
Yeah,
He's legit
they
just
can.
memeing. Okay.
Okay.
I think they just kill that little trinket. Yeah.
Pulbay's
Kill the
taking
other trinket.
way too much damage.
Yeah.
Bible still zoning them away. And even though Sponge was there, could not really get in a spot to actually Hex Flash.
He's steadfasting.
Yeah, they're trying to get on top of Bible here. Will they be able to kill the Leona is the real question. No, he just flashes away as Lucid tanks up the front line. Rahel really doesn't have any mana, so they don't really want to commit to this fight. They want to spend that Baron gold, and that they will, as Thanatos wasn't even there.
Yeah,
he's just pushing bot lane with Baron buff.
He's still pushing. Legend has it.
To this day.
Yeah. There's going to be a statue of Thanatos on the Rift. Still pushing.
Yep.
So we have Baron now, so he's going to reset and then continue to push. As it's Chemtech Soul. Remember, DRX basically ended the game off hard forcing a fight on it, and now the lead is too big. Setab, no ult.
He does have flash. He's going to flash the rocket. Probably the right choice.
Wise choice, I would say. As it's a 3-item Jinx, 2-item Aphelios, and the front line is real, as you could see.
Yeah. They don't do damage to the tanks unless Pleta is there. Setap, of course, going for a pretty standard Ahri build nowadays, but it's one build that it just doesn't deal damage to tanks, really.
Frog? Does he have an angle? Lucid said no.
Yeah, Sponge is dead. Not able to do anything here. The ult is down as well. And Thanatos is still not with the team. They just don't even need him. Just winning the 4v5. They're like, yeah, sure, cool, whatever. We'll take this one down. Okay, man, Broly. And down will go the first inhibitor. Thanatos setting up for the second one.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to give Thanatos the POG, but he's kind of been AFK. I don't know if I can do it. You know?
I'm going to do it.
Like, I'm kind of feeling like maybe I'm voting Lucid again now.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, though.
I'm going to vote for Thanatos.
It's pretty good. He's a pretty good player. He did hit
Lucid
minion.
was good, though. You know, he got those ganks in mid, and he set up some plays as well.
I mean, once Thanatos got ahead, he was just like, I'm not going to be here, though.
Okay. Able to knock down Lucid.
He's going to be here. He's here.
Yeah, Sponge. He got trapped behind the wall there as Fullbait and Rahel will trade the kill back. They lost Lucid, though. So now, you know, I have no choice but to vote for Thanatos.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, too.
Lucid might be dead for the end of the game here. Charm comes in. Bible once again sacrificing for the team, but this time he does not die as the wallets are pretty damn heavy here on the side of DK. Setap trying his best, but it is just a little bit too little.
Yeah, they all have only the weighted credit cards on those wallets.
The weighted credit cards?
Yeah, the ones that are like really heavy because it just shows how rich you are.
Yeah, why do you get those?
I don't know, to prove how rich you are. That's what rich people do, right? They have like, my credit card is so heavy.
Because that's all they have, right? If you can buy everything in the world, all you have is your pride.
Yeah, and your really heavy credit card in your wallet for some reason. It's like, and then,
your yacht.
You know those people too? Well, like when you meet them, like they'll just after they pay for something, they'll be like, by the way, like hold this. You know, that's happened to you before, right? Where
Fortunately,
they're like,
I don't have any friends like that.
And then you like hold it. Well, it doesn't have to be a friend, it could be a colleague, whatever. And then you're like, yeah, it's heavy. They're like,
calling out a specific colleague here.
No.
Okay.
No, never. I would not. I'm just saying.
All right.
You know, sometimes just don't give me your heavy credit card.
Yeah. I mean, they
Love you,
can
Jeremy,
feel.
but
Yeah, they can feel nice. Yeah. I guess that's one reason. It makes you feel cool. Yeah, some people like certain things, you know.
I mean, it does feel nice, to be honest. Like when they give it to me, they're like, "That's pretty heavy, huh?" I'm like,
and
"Yeah."
It's like cold. It's made of pure iron.
But it's just, I don't want to hold it.
It weighs like 7 kilos. Yeah.
What if it's a frail cashier who can't pick it up? It's not
Started
fair.
curling it. You got to show off your gym muscles. You just got the pump from yesterday.
All right, hold on. Is there a miracle that happens for DRX here? Nah, I don't think so.
That's why I wasn't really talking about the game. DRX are trying. They're going to throw in one last hurrah, but it will be the ace at the end of the game.
The Braum survives?
As I swear to God, if Rahel gets MVP again, I will not be happy. Sorry, swear to Faker. He had a great game one, for sure. But this time, it's got to be one of top or jungle, I would imagine. I'm going to vote for top.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to vote top.
Just going to go ahead and vote for the Thanatos.
If we get Thanatos or Lucid, I'm cool. If we get mid, kind of like, that's a pretty mid vote, to be honest. And
Yeah.
If it's Rahel again, that's kind of weird.
I don't like mid being in our like slang vocabulary now, because whenever anyone says it, I always think about mid lane. I'm like, what do you mean mid? Are you talking about Fullbait?
Yeah, but the other thing is, like, when people
It's
say
pretty mid. I'm like, that's not a mid pick.
when people say mid, though, they're like,
Aphelios is pretty mid nowadays. You're not going to put that.
sure.
What are you talking about?
But when people say mid, they basically mean bad, but they're saying it like it's like middle. They're like, oh, I'm saying a mid, so it means it's not bad. But I'm like, yeah, but you're talking trash right now. Like, you're actually saying it's bad. You kind of
Your take is pretty mid, actually.
You know, you can.
And by
vote for
mid, I
Rahel.
mean it's bad.
You can make your own choices. That's fine.
How do you vote for Pog? There's no Zeri. I mean, there's also not Chovy in this game, but I voted for him.
If you vote for Rahel, like, I'll never know, so we can still be friends. So just
Yeah,
make your own
if he
choices.
wins the vote, though, I'm not, yeah.
But I won't know that you officially voted for him, so it's totally cool, and we can stay friends.
Yeah.
Now, if you tell me you voted for Rahel and he wins, you and I, we're going to have meet me down at the coffee shop around the corner,
Yeah.
near the parking lot, and we're not going to be drinking coffee. We're gonna have to have a little chat.
Are you gonna have a piece of cake? You're gonna get some tea, some hot tea.
We will not be entering the coffee shop. Just meet me outside. It's gonna be closed at the time this challenge
ult mid was so good though. I didn't even notice that he ulted in mid. Maybe that's why we're not voting for him.
You mean the ult in mid where then his teammates went into the turret and died?
Yeah. 5 out of 10. Okay, this is a very in-depth view on mid. 5 out of 10 is generally viewed as not good, though. If you score a 50 on a test that's mid, it's also an F. That's kind of how people rate attractiveness.
That's actually so true, though.
In people as well. They're like, yeah, he's a 7. But by that, they actually mean he's average. It's like, but no, 7 isn't average. I don't like when people do that.
Yeah.
So if you say mid, you must mean middle.
Same with gaming scores. It's like, if it's below 80, like you're not even gonna look at it. I'm like, well, I mean, why don't we just make it like an 80 out to 100, and otherwise we just don't show the score?
Hugh, Yundo just said Hugh. Maybe he's talking about.
I think that means that. No, I think he's saying few, like phew, like
Hugh,
like as in like it did go to Thanatos and
Grant. Hugh Grant could be, yeah. So mid means like 70% if you're going by 50%. I mean, a lot of people use it like that. They will use 70% as if it's middle of the pack. When also, in fact, 70% was like failing grade in my high school as well. So like,
wait, 70 was a failing grade?
Well, it's like the minimum you can get without failing. Like if you got a 69, even though it was pretty nice, you're failing.
Oh, that's actually true for me as well, I think.
Yeah, some places do 60, some do 70.
Look at that.
Look at that guy. First POG of the year. So definitely do not pick him up for your LCS or LEC team.
This is when the KR cast was like, who picked Thanatos? Like, we got robbed. Like,
man, Rahal, it's such a good game. How dare you rob this perfect play?
So this is now their 14th win in a row. He's only gotten 1 POG out of 14 games. That's wild. But 14 wins in a row, man. They are 2 series away. One of them being HLE, which is a tough opponent, who are still ahead now of DRX in the standings with this loss.
And the other is Liv Sam. Wait, the other is Bro. Oh,
Bro,
that's going to be a tough one.
They got a new, I mean, it was historically for the org, it has been a troublesome one. They did get a new top laner as well, Bro, announced today.
Nice.
I don't know much about him yet, but
what's his name? Do you know? Do you
Starts
remember?
with a K. I was legit just looking at this moments ago. I'm going to look it back up again. If I can figure out how Twitter works now, where like I'm just scrolling through ads, like I just want to see that one tweet. Hold on.
He was so lucky. They just ran into him the whole time. Yeah, I agree. Thanatos, definitely, he has a lot to work on. You know, he's great at a lot of things, except losing the game and being bad at League of Legends and not being there for team fights.
Kangin.
Kangin? Oh boy, we got another one of these names where it's going to be like, well, how are we going to pronounce it on the English broadcast? Because it should be Kangin, right? Like strong person.
But it's with a K, so
yeah.
Yeah, he said Kangin. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay,
I think that's what it is.
Yes, but if you read that in English, let's say you know nothing about Korean, you're watching the LCK, you're like, who's that guy? Kangin?
Well, I mean, that's why we have to educate our viewers, so that we don't have like the Game Awards where someone is presenting the award and they're like, Sekiro!
Sekiro! Yeah. I hear it's good at pushing lanes. Might be something to look into. At Valdez. I don't know who that Valdez guy is with the Z. He keeps on taking my thunder.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, when I first met Valdez, I spelled it with a Z for like 2 months before eventually
it is the more common spelling, to be fair. So I'm never actually angry at people who say that. It's been spelled that way my whole life by people who didn't know. Kungin? No, not him.
No.
The GOAT of WoW. We're here at the Caster and Chat Community Corner, and we just want to let you know that Ivern has not been picked or banned yet in 2 games, so take that.
I feel like that will change when we move to the next series.
What makes you think that?
Just because I think the level of play is not quite as high, it's harder to punish.
It's fine, Johnny Alaska. I'm trolling. I don't care. As I said.
It's all right.
It's all good.
So we have Nautilus TX Astronalis TX for Texas. We have Johnny, Alaska. Any other states in here? You know, any other the 50? Can we play like the 50 states license plate game, but with the Twitch chatters? Like I got Alaska, I got Texas.
All right.
We got
Anybody
NL.
else?
Somebody had NL.
Ohio
course.
Sag. Yeah, that's pretty sad. Sorry about that. Wistful Spob Bunge Sponge Spob.
No, you have to have it.
Spob Bungist?
Wistful
Did I just say that?
SpongeBobist.
Yes.
You
York?
have to have it in the name. You can't just write it in the chat.
No, I think it's okay. Sad to say I'm a Florida man. Feels bad, man.
Florida man.
I came from the New Zealand state.
That's cool.
The 55th, that's racist. This is not racist. This has nothing to do with race. Oh, man.
North
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Do I count for both?
Any Idahos in the chat? Come on.
You say that knowing there's definitely not anyone from Idaho.
No, there's got to be like at least one person from Idaho in the chat. We have a very diverse chat.
Me? Yeah, I'm glad I didn't repeat that on the broadcast. But it was okay because I would have just been saying the name of the state, right? KT versus T12 Electric Boogaloo. People happy for our next matchup, by the way, if you guys are wondering.
Yes.
This one happened very quickly, and DK stomped out another opponent. DRX were not good enough, unfortunately. And DK, undefeated still.
I'm not looking forward to seeing either of those teams. Like, if either of those teams just completely fall apart, like, I'm going to be really sad. If one of the team, if it's a stomp and KT, for example, plays way better and looks really good, I'm like, cool. T1 suddenly show up, they 2-0, they look really good, awesome. If one team just completely doesn't show up, that's not what I want to see.
Clueless Retired Gamer says, DK reminds me of Griffin from 2018 Challengers.
I think, you know, we're, like, the domination is there, but I think we're, like, it's a bit of a different situation.
I think that, unfortunately, now that we live in a franchising world, we won't have the Griffin story happen again. Yes, it was a stomp. But maybe they just all get picked up by different teams, and we get that talent in the LCK at least.
I mean, people talk about this all the time, but we legit had a Challengers team win Challengers and then go to the LCK. It is Nongshim. They exist. They're down there. Like, that happened. So,
True.
Like, this is. I think there's this belief that these players are very good, they're very talented, but I think they need to be pushed into a higher level of competition, especially our top teams, because it's hard to actually improve when you're stomping and going 14-0.
But the Nongshim win was like upset in the Challenger final,
Sure.
and also.
But they went to the finals, so they were the second best team, right, of that season.
Also, like, they didn't have quite the streak that this DK had.
Yeah, no, this is different.
This
I mean,
is
as
like
Chronicler mentioned, it was
better.
a DRX World situation. But what I'm saying is, like, I think if you put this team in LCK, they don't make the same run that Griffin did. Right, or multiple runs Griffin made, for example. I don't think
you'd have to be saying that, like, Thanatos is a Chovy level talent, which he's really, really good. Is he Chovy level? I don't think so.
Not
yet.
Hard,
it's not just Chovy, but there was Viper on that lineup as well. Like, it's kind of insane.
You have to wait and see, like, what these players look like when they actually get into a league where the competition level is higher. The things you can learn, things you can improve, you get higher. Like, we actually see them at their average play, like where they actually become just like, oh, it could be an LCK, like this is an average day for me instead of their Challenger stomp days. That's when you'll learn a lot about these players and where their strengths are. Really, I think they're very good, obviously, but I want to see them not in Challengers anymore because it also would make Challengers more interesting. So
yeah,
get them on a team, all of them, all 5 of them, please.
Bulldog, I think, is a great example where he has great moments, but then sometimes you're like, oh, dog, what you doing? It's because he has that dog in him. You know, if you have that dog in you, sometimes you have those great moments. Sometimes you're getting a little bit too aggro.
There are 2 wolves inside me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? Who let the dogs out? Yeah. You know, understands. He gets it.
We have this is a bit of a longer interview today.
Yeah. You know, if Rahel won, it would have been the solo interview with Rahel, and we wouldn't have had as much time. So I think we're also doing the C4 justice. But right as we mention that, guys, we have to stop comment. We have no other way. to get through this. So we'll have about a half-hour break, and we'll come back for the telecom war. Don't go anywhere.